Good evening. Janice, Amelia, Mel. All right, Mel's going to be back. Amelia, Janice, hi. If all goes well, I'll be back Sunday. If not, hi to all. Inner Peas, Gianna Marie, good evening to both of you. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Jamma, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Hope everyone had a pleasant day today. Lemon Pie, good evening, Lemon Pie. Yo to you as well. Tiffany has left the building. Good evening, Tiffany. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a pleasant day today. I'm gonna give it another three minutes or so. Well, less than 3 minutes, and then we'll get going. Waiting for people to get their notifications and pop in. Then we'll get going. All the questions tonight are on serial killers. Some of the questions are about what makes a serial killer, and the other questions are on actual serial killers. So it's a mix of both. Had a good day yesterday. Went to my sister's for dinner. Now I'm in bed watching. Oh, that's cool. Rihanna. Nah. I don't know why I said Rihanna. Rihanna. Good evening. How are you? I'm doing great, Rihanna. Tina Reddington. Good evening. Mel is back. Greetings to all. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Give another minute and 30 seconds, and then we'll get going on the trivia for tonight. Kitiku. Hello, everyone. Will, I can't stay, but I'll rewatch and put my score in the comments. I might make towards the end. Thank you. Well, Kitiku, you have a great night. Thank you for stopping in. You have a terrific week ahead. I'm happy you're here too, Mel. Bamacat. Good evening, Bamacat. Welcome to tonight's trivia. All the questions tonight are on serial killers. Some of the questions are on actual serial killers, and the rest of them are on the, as it says there on the scroll, modus of operandi, the actual why they, how they actually commit their crimes. I have company, but I'm going to try to get them to participate. There you go, Tina. More the merrier. All right. 10 seconds and we'll get this going. Hi, me. That's what it looks like. It says hi, me, but it's actually hi, Mel. I thought it was an exclamation point. All right. I'm gonna get myself my little window here. There we go. Hello, Will in his little window. Okay, outline for the game that we are about to play. We are playing only for fun. No one is any better at this game than anyone else. Use a search engine, phone a friend, lifeline, or anything and everything is acceptable and encouraged. Hateful or degrading remarks towards another person playing will not only get you timed out, but will get you removed, and I will report you to your ISP, YouTube, and everywhere. I am not going to tolerate it ever. All 20 questions are picked by me. All the questions and the content are property of me and my studio, Delight Studios, except for photos that belong to Getty Imaging. These questions are not exploitive of the families or of the victims. They are for educational purposes only, ladies and gentlemen. Interpeas will be right back. Good evening, Sal. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a great day today. First question is on the screen. Misguided, but some serial killers are actually motivated by which of the following to kill and keep killing, according to the FBI? Is it A, a love of cookies, B, romantic interest, C, lust of the person's children, or D, clowns, but very creepy clowns? Misguided, but some serial killers are actually motivated by which of the following to kill and keep killing, according to the FBI? A, B, C, D, or E? Make up your own. Where Anna is going with B. Gemma is going with B. Question 1 of 20. Bama Cat, Jenna Marie, and Lemon Pie. Everyone so far is going with B. Romantic interest. There's nobody who thinks it's love of cookies or creepy clowns. Tiffany is going C, question mark. E says interpeas sibling rivalry. And good evening, Tammy. Mountain Lions, Meth, and Yugos. Absolutely. Mountain Lions, Meth, and Yugos. Excuse me. Misguided, but some serial killers are actually motivated by which of the following to kill and keep killing? Mel's going with B. The correct answer to question number 1 is B as in boy, romantic interest. Romantic interest. Going on to question number 2. Serial killers are often not found to be insane because of which reason below? Is it A, they are geniuses, B, they were abused as children, C, they watched the Jersey Shore, or D, they know right from wrong but don't care? Tammy is going with E, bury Morphew on a stripper pole. Serial killers are often not found to be insane because of which reason below? Anna, Bamakat, and Tiffany are all going with D. They know right from wrong, but don't care. Gemma is going with D as well, as Sal as also is going with D. Question 2 of 20. Die introvert. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Is going with D. Mel is going with D. Tammy, Tina, Gianna Marie are all going with D. Question 2 of 20. They are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I probably haven't had a bowl of Cocoa Puffs in 30 years. It's got to be that long at least, or Count Chocula or whatever. I don't eat that stuff. But it's funny though. They are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Lemon pies going with D. Question 2 of 20. Serial killers are often not found to be insane because of which reason? Tammy's going with E. There are a few beans short of a burrito. The correct answer to question 2 is, in fact, D as in dog. They know right from wrong, but don't care. Every single serial killer who has ever been caught and prosecuted for their crimes has had to have a mandatory state evaluated psychological testing to see if they are criminally insane. Now, you can remove the word criminal from that for criminally insane. You can remove that, but to see if they are able to aid in their own defense and if they are to be prosecuted for their crimes. Only a couple have been found to be insane and truly unable to aid in their own defense. The most popular one is Ed Kemper. Was found to be criminally insane. He could not aid in his own defense, even though he knew what he did was wrong. At the time that he did it, he mentally could not make the actual determination of during the actual act itself of what's right and wrong. His rage. Personally, I don't personally blame him for what he did, especially killing his mother. I mean, it's always wrong to kill, but still, that lady tortured him, most of his life. All right, question 3. As of the ending of 2023, there are how many current unsolved murders in the U.S. that are connected to serial killers? We are looking for the number for just cases that are connected to serial killers that are unsolved. Is it A, 1,230,450, or B, 889,215, C, 220,000, or D, 345,019? As of the ending of 2023, there are how many current unsolved murders in the U.S. that are connected to serial killers? And you might then wonder the question, well, if they know that these murders are connected to serial killers, why haven't they been prosecuted, or what serial killers are they connected to? These serial killers are uncaught. They don't know who the serial killer is. They're not incarcerated. And so therefore they cannot close or solve the case. But there are over 1,000 serial killers in America right now, today, who are out there either hunting, killing, or that maybe they be taking a break in their actual killing spree, but they're active, according to the FBI, at any given time all across this nation. And we are number 1 when it comes to serial killers around the world. But how many of these murders have been connected to serial killers? And we get the 144,000 is back. As Inner Peas with 144,000. Mr. Frosty, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia, Mr. Frosty. I hope you've been doing well. Mr. Frosty is here with us, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine having so many serial killers out there. Yeah, they're everywhere. It's not that other nations don't have serial killers. It's that we seem to be number 1 in production of actual serial killers. If cement were here, he concur. Yeah, I noticed that Cement Shoes, he just renewed his channel membership, so he's around somewhere. I have a headache. Luckily, I have a ton of Amazon basic ibuprofen. That's cool. I hope it works, Mr. Frosty. Sprinkled Donuts, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. I buy ibuprofen from Costco. I think they're what 250 count bottles. You get two of them together, so 500, ibuprofens for like $14. I mean, I'm always ordering stuff from Costco anyways for home delivery because I don't want to drive the 20, well, maybe 10 miles each direction, so 20 miles total round trip to go to Costco. I can just go online and order it and have it delivered to my house. Well, America does take pride in being number one. Yeah, right. Unfortunately. All right. Question 3 of 20. As of the end of 2023, how many unsolved murders are connected to serial killers? The correct answer is C as in cat. 220,000 murders that are unsolved right now are connected to serial killers. Some of them are 15 murders that are connected to one serial killer. Another may only have 10 or 5, but there are 220,000 unsolved murders across this nation that are connected to serial killers. This was 200 for $4. There you go. That's a pretty good deal right there, Mr. Frosty. From Amazon basic ibuprofen. You guys need ibuprofen. You take a lot of ibuprofen. That's the place to go. Oops, I overestimated. Yeah. All right. Going on to question number 4. Which one below is not a recognized type of serial killer that operates in the U.S.? Is it A, hedonistic, B, mission goal oriented, C, fear, or D, visionary? Good evening, Purple, and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you are doing well, and I hope your hubby's doing well as also. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Which one from below is not a recognized type of serial killer that operates in the U.S.? Meep. Good evening, Meep. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Meep is going with D, visionary. I hope you had a great day today, Meep. Thank you for being here tonight. Tina is going with C. Sal, C as well. Which one of these is not a type of serial killer that operates in the U.S.? Tammy's going with E, Mr. Rogers. Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Hello, neighbor. Love trivia night. I'm glad you enjoy it. We are hanging in there. Well, that's good, Purple. Callie Lisa's here. Good evening, Callie Lisa. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I'm glad you could be here with us tonight. Callie Lisa's going with A for hedonistic. Sprinkled Donuts, F. Mountain Lion. Mountain Lion. There are no mountain lion serial killers in America. Tiffany's going with C. Right, and I love it too. Well, that's great. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. I look forward to every Sunday's trivia night. All right, question 4. The correct answer is C as in cat. Fear. There is a subset of the actual mission-oriented serial killers that is the U.S. does not recognize fear and fear serial killers at all, even though they are connected to the mission-oriented type of serial killer. Other places around the world, especially in Latin America, they recognize a type of serial killer called a fear killer. That person kills because they believe that they need to kill others because they are in danger themselves. Hedonistic, there are a lot of hedonistic serial killers in America and a lot of visionary ones as well, and mission-oriented, goal-oriented serial killers. But fear is the only one that is not recognized by the American Psychological Association. I think it is. I'd have to look at the book, and I can't reach it. It's on the other side of the camera, but I can see the spine of the book. It doesn't help anyone, not even me. Not Tony the Tiger? Nope. All right, question number 5. If you can't be original, why even kill? This serial killer is one of only 2 known serial killers to profit off his murders by not releasing a book or a TV movie. We are looking for ones that have profited, actually made money off of their actual crimes. Is it A, H.H. Holmes, B, Gary Ridgway, C, Ted Bundy, or D, Richard Kolinsky? Which serial killer from that list profited off of their crimes not by releasing a book or a TV movie? Oh, I see. I mean, serial killers motivated by feeling fear themselves. Interesting. Lemon pie. Richie Rich. How do we really know Herbert Mullins didn't save millions of lives? Interesting question. Enter P is E, not Chad Daybell. No. It rules out Chad Daybell because he already released books, but he hasn't released a book about killing all the Tammy and JJ and Ty Lee. He hasn't released or Charles. He hasn't made a book about that yet. I'm sure that's coming though. For Anna C, Meep is going with A. Tina C. Gianna Marie C. Sal and Bama Cat are both going with A. If you can't be original, why even kill? I mean, come on. Everybody killing people, that is so done by so many other people. You gotta be original. This serial killer is one of only 2 known serial killers to profit off his murders and not by releasing a book or a TV deal. Mel is going to go with A. All right. The answer to question number 5, ladies and gentlemen, if you guessed A or D, you are correct. I did that by mistake. It was not planned. Richard Kolinsky, the Iceman, he committed murder for the mob and directly profited from the actual murders themselves. So if you said D, you're correct. If you said A, H.H. Holmes is correct as well, because not only did he murder, but then he sold the skeletons and the bodies to different colleges for actual autopsies and for medical students to practice and learn on. But he also sold the bones to collectors and to other places that peddled in the bones of a human being. Different sideshows, circuses, there were all kinds of people who bought bones back then because they were considered an oddity. The people turned skulls into ashtrays. As weird as it sounds, people put them on their mantle. You name it. But if you guessed A or D, you were correct. That was a mistake. I did not mean to put Richard Kolinsky in there. But again, it happens. Sometimes I make mistakes too. Kukulinski. All right. Going on to question number 6. Not sure why people stopped reading the newspaper. However, the killer once worked there reporting on his murders. Who is it? He was a reporter for a newspaper. Which one of these individuals was a reporter for a newspaper and reported on the actual murders that he was committing? Was it A, Michael Canoe, B, Joseph D'Angelo, C, Vlado Tansky, or D, Snooky and her pet mountain lion? Not sure why people stopped reading the newspaper. However, this killer once worked there reporting on his murders. Question number 6. That's what I was thinking, Tammy. Tina, Rayanna, purple, or I'll go with B, lemon pie, Geraldo Rivera. We're going to get into Al Capone's vault tonight on Rivera Live. Joey Douchebag D'Angelo. Sal, I don't know. A, Catalisa, B, Jenna Marie, B. The inner P's is going with E, Walter Cronkite. And that's the news. Walter Cronkite. They're never going to make nightly news reporters like those anymore. The Edward R. Murrows, the Walter Cronkites, people who actually did actual real reporting. They don't make them like they used to. The Tom Brokaws of the world. Now I tune into 60 Minutes every once in a while, and I'm like, besides Leslie Stahl, I'm like, who the hell are all these people? I've never even seen them before. Sherry, good evening, Sherry. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Sherry is going with B. Sal loved Walter Cronkite. Nowadays, they don't report the news; they make the news. That's true, Mel. And a lot of depending upon who you're watching. The news is either slanted one side or the other side. I'm a bit late. I'm sorry. No, that's okay, Sherry. You made it anyways. That's all that matters. I'm going with D'Angelo because the person above seemed confident. Fake news, says Callie Lisa. That is true. What is the news and where are you really getting it from? Tiffany is going with B. Question number 6. Not sure why people stopped reading the newspaper. However, this killer once worked there reporting on his murders. The correct answer to question 6 is C as in cat. Vlado Tansky was a reporter for the National Press newspaper. And how he got caught was he was reporting on his own murders that he was committing, but in his last report, that the article he wrote out, he knew things that only the killer would know about the crimes, and that the information that he got and he put in the actual article was not anything that the police department ever released. They had kept it to themselves, but he reported it. That's how he got tripped up, and then they started looking into his past and who he was and what he was doing. And sure enough, it turns out he was a serial killer, killing people and reporting on it. You continue to feed your work. I mean, talk about job security, right? Kill someone, report on it, write a follow-up, kill someone else, write on it, follow it up. I mean, it just keeps on going. Diana Bowman. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Vlada Hoodoo? No. I don't trust reporters unless they have a nose piercing. There you go. I don't read newspapers because the ink gets on my hands. I don't actually buy a physical newspaper anymore. I get it for, like the e news, so it's like the digital version of it. And then if there's an article or something that really catches my mind, then I go out and purposely buy an actual physical paper. But that's the only thing that I read, is online that way, the news. I don't trust news services. I don't care if it's ABC, CBS, whatever, because they're only going to tell you a small portion of it. They'll get that sound bite out there, so that you stay tuned till after the commercial break, so you can they can make some more money off you. But when it comes to then the printed word is very important. There's just not a lot of actual real reporters left out there. They've outsourced it to anyone, Tom, Dick, or Harry, and they've caught quite a few people before in the past, and they'll catch more in the future, who report on wars or crimes or horrific national or weather disasters, and they never even went to them. They just sat at home and wrote the articles up. I must confess I can't watch True Crime Loser anymore. I'm not sure why. I'm sorry about that, Mr. Frosty. It hasn't changed that much over the years. But hey, our interests come and go, right? There's nothing wrong with that. All right, question 7. Ed Kemper called the police and confessed to his crime. While he waited for them to arrive and arrest him, what did he eat? Was it A, a KFC chicken, B, soft serve ice cream, C, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or D, street tacos? Check out the website, 1440 Daily Digest. I'll write it down. 1440 Daily Digest. Ed Kemper called the police and confessed to his crimes. While he waited for them to arrive and arrest him, what did he eat? Question 7 of 20. Quite a few people are going with A, Mel, KFC chicken. E, Mickey D's. A, ghost pepper. And of course, this would be Ed Kemper's actual last murder. And who did he call? He called his friend, who was a police detective. He called him up and said, "Hey, just want to let you know I killed my mother," and confessed to the entire crime. And then told him that basically he would be there waiting for him. And he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this." And he could have left town, he could have ran, could have hid. Kemper was like, "I don't care." Waited for him to show up. But what was he eating? What did he eat? I remember some killer who loved chicken. Not sure if it was him. If Kemper had been a cannibal, he would have been eating his mother's fried liver with some Chianti, like Hannibal Lecter. Tiffany's going with B, some fava beans and a nice Chianti. The Hannibal Lecters of the world. Ed Kemper called the police and confessed to his crimes. While he waited for them to arrive and arrest him, what did he eat? Diana is going with A, KFC chicken. Tiffany's going with B, fava beans and a good Chianti. Yep. Meep is like, could be C, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Fact-focused information. Well, I'll check it out, Kai. At least I wrote it down. Check it out later. Thank you. He ate his heart out. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Question 7 of 20. All right. The correct answer to question 7 is B as in boy. He had a chocolate and vanilla swirled cone from Dairy Queen that's across the street from the phone booth that he actually used to call his friend, who was a detective, and confess to murder. He ate a chocolate and vanilla swirled cone, leaned up against like the trunk of his car, and just sat there and waited. And his friend had showed up in no rush because he knew he was going to be there. He confessed to it and told me he'd be there. But he had it, and it was John Wayne Gacy because he worked at KFC when he was younger. Tiffany says that the individual who liked chicken, John Wayne Gacy even had KFC as his last meal, along with strawberries, shrimp, fries, soda. That was his last meal before he was actually executed, John Wayne Gacy. But Gacy actually managed a KFC, for it was his in-laws. His favorite. I should have known. All right, question 8. Which of the following books did Ed Kemper not narrate while at the California State Hospital? Is it A, The Stranger Beside Me, B, Star Wars, C, Flowers in the Attic, or D, The Rosary Murders? Which one did Ed Kemper not narrate while at the California State Hospital? That's why I got mixed up. Too many serial killers, such a little time, right? Well, I was thinking about it from my perspective. I mean, I get some of their names mixed up. I know the crimes, but I don't. I'm like, wow, damn it, who was that did that? It happens. There's an awful lot of them up there. The Bible. Who said the Bible? Inner peace. The Bible. In case you didn't know, Ed Kemper used to narrate books. And the reason why he did it was for those who couldn't read. So he made audio books, recordings of books. And if you've never seen an interview with Ed Kemper, listen to his voice. Would you really want that being, him narrating the Bible to you? Or Flowers in the Attic or Star Wars or anything else? Getting tougher each week. Is it? Well, I'm sorry. There's definitely some harder questions in here, but these are all a mix of leftover questions from last year. This is the last night, where it will not be on just one individual. Next week, it's and from foreseeable future, it'll be on just one individual. B, Curious George. He did do children's books. In case you guys are wondering, there are some children's books in the total catalog of things that he did, but we're looking for the one that is listed below, A, B, C, or D, that he did not do at the California State Hospital, where he still resides to this day. Kemper's voice gets my bones. Eek. Right? I'm going to Keep guessing C until it's correct. It's the correct answer. Lemon pie. E, the Oprah biography. Tiffany's going with B. So is Diana going with B as well. Question 8. The correct answer is A as in apple. Is the one book from that list that he did not narrate. A Stranger Beside Me is a book written by Anne Rule about Ted Bundy, the serial killer. He did Star Wars, Flowers in the Attic, Rosary Murders. There are a total of 39 books that Ed Kemper narrated. 39. But The Stranger Beside Me is not one of the books that he narrated. And he no longer narrates books, in case you're wondering. It was a hobby that he had at the state California State Hospital that he no longer does. The Stranger Beside Me is about Ted Bundy. Yep. All right. Question number 9. This serial killer acted as his own attorney at trial. He would go on to interrogate himself on the witness stand for 5 hours. Who is this? Is it A, Angelo Bruno, B, Ted Bundy, C, Rodney Alclay, or D, Richard Ramirez? Question 9. This man acted as his own attorney and interrogated himself on the witness stand for 5 hours. Kitiku. Good. Kitiku made it back. An awful lot of bees. Sprinkled donuts, cherry, meep. Everybody's going with B. Tina, Bama Cat, Meep, Mel. What did he do? Jump back and forth between the witness stand and the podium? Callie Lisa wants to know. Callie Lisa, he would sit on the witness stand, testify, then go back to the podium, ask another question, then go back to the stand and sit down and then give the testimony. He did this for 5 hours until the judge had enough of it and said, knock it the hell off. Because he just kept on running circles around blaming everything on anybody else. But it lasted for 5 hours. Right, Anna is going with C. Good evening, Steph. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Tammy Hall, Theodore Robert Bundy. Yeah, Teddy. No wonder he stayed so thin. A lot of people don't know about this, about Ted Bundy, is he really was into calisthenics. He would work out in his cell every day for an hour a day. But after he was sentenced to death, I should say, not before then. Anne Rice, sweetie. Oh, Anne Rice wrote about vampires. Rule wrote about true crime. I always get the two of them mixed up myself. The only way I'm able to keep them somewhat, apart is I have to think, okay, Rule worked with Ted Bundy. And I have to remind myself that way, because otherwise I mix Anne Rule and Anne Rice up myself. It happens. And then sometimes I mix in Mary Higgins Clark, in there. I don't know why, but I do. Because Mary Higgins Clark wrote "Loves Music, Loves to Dance," one of my favorite books of all time. All that back and forth kept him looking very bony. Well, you all might be, shocked to know this, but the correct answer to question 9 is not Ted Bundy. It is C as in cat, Rodney Alclay, the dating game killer. The dating game killer. He was on the actual TV show, The Dating Game, and he actually, was the Bachelor on that, and the woman who won. I mean, he won. There's a woman who ended up picking him, but they never went out on a date though, because he, as she told it later on, the creep he gave her the creepy factor. It was like just a conversation, and it didn't work out for one reason or another. On top of that, but they never went out on a date. But Rodney Alclay acted as his own attorney until the judge shut the whole thing down. But you know what they say about people who defend themselves, even like Ted Bundy, who acted as his own attorney, but he never testified and then interrogated himself on the witness stand for 5 hours. But Rodney, and anybody who acts as their own attorney, is that person has a fool for client. He's such a showboat. All right, question number 10. Kenneth Bianchi went to great lengths to find out what the police knew of his crimes. What did he do for work during this time? Was it A, a cadet with the LAPD, B, a carpenter's assistant handyman, C, a dishwasher, or D, news reporter with Channel 7 News? A fool for a client. Yeah. I'm reading Princess Lista. Don't know how it got past me. Mm-hmm. Patricia Cornwell. I got some Patricia Cornwell here on my over here on the shelf. I got some Bentley Little and Cornwell. I love to read. But Kenneth Bianchi went to great lengths to find out what the police knew of his crimes. What did he do for work during this time? Question 10 of 20. The Morgan. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia, the Morgan. Morgan. E, producer of the Jersey Shore. Alclay was the most cruel. Mr. Frosty, security guard. What did Kenneth do? He was an active serial killer, and he went to any length he could to find out what the police knew about his crimes. But what did he do for a living? One of my daughters is reading Sue Grafton's books again. She is 24. Huh. He pretended to be a desk in a detective's office. Entire Mayfair series. Question 10. Kenneth Bianchi went to great lengths to find out what the police knew of his crimes. What did he do for work during this time? Question 10 is the correct answer is B as in boy. He was a carpenter's assistant handyman during this. But the great length that he went to is he actually went on ride-alongs with the LAPD to find out what they knew. He was not an official cadet with the LAPD. He was just somebody who said he was interested. And the conversations with every single officer he rode along with on at that night was, hey, what about these cases that are going on here in the city? This serial killer or murderer that's uncaught, and he would fish for information to see what they knew. And unfortunately, they talked about the actual crimes, not thinking that this person who's interested in law enforcement and was going on ride alongs was the actual murderer. But Kenneth worked as a carpenter's assistant handyman at the time when he was going on these ride alongs with the LAPD and actually being a active serial killer. How long did he do that for? Kitty Coo, he did it for 2 months. 2 months he went on ride alongs. It wasn't like he went every day on the ride alongs. He'd go on a ride along, after a period of time of actually killing, and raping, and robbing places. And then he would, find out, what they knew. But he was always doing everything he could to find out what they knew about him. But then he would, then he would stop, and then he'd go on a ride along with another one. But he never wanted to go on a ride along with the same officer because he was afraid they were going to catch on to him for fishing for information. So, are there any chatters besides me in California currently getting drenched by rain? I'm sorry about that, Callie Lisa. I have a friend who is not in the chat right now, but is in the San Diego area, and they've been getting nailed down there for rain in the San Diego area. So I feel for you wherever you are in California. Try to stay dry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have now finished 10 questions. As per our normal thing, after the first half of the trivia night, 10 questions of 20, we now take a 6-minute break. Go get something to eat, smoke a bowl, do whatever you want to do. You do you. But just be safe and watch out for mountain lions because they are sneaky. We will be back, with question 11 in 6 minutes. I'm on the East Coast getting snow in the mountains of West Virginia. Ooh. Yeah, maybe it'll fill up a little bit of Lake Mead. Got to get that money. I just watched a documentary about the Lake Mead and the aqueduct system. Did the cops need a handyman to fix the wood trim inside their vehicles? Weird. Oh, I want snow, says Ray Anna Arthur. You want snow? We're not getting snow where I am. Right now, it's where I am here. It's 41 degrees and mostly cloudy. It rained a little bit this morning. It has been uncommon weather for us in this area. We never get snow. If we do, it's like a quarter inch to a half inch, somewhere in there. And then people freak the hell out. And there are lines around the block, for the tire shops, for people trying to, get snow tires. And of course, the tire shops, they're willing to sell them to you. They'll sell you chains if you want them. But people buy them. And then 2 weeks later, they're back at the tire shop to have them taken off and put all season radios back on or something. I don't know how they could justify taking in my ride-alongs. It's too strange. It's not really strange, Mel. I have a friend who is a police officer in one city over from where I am. And they have people who go on ride-alongs all the time. Sometimes it's reporters from newspapers or television stations. Sometimes it's just teenagers who are interested in excuse me, who are interested in the field of law enforcement, or it could be someone who is an officer in a different jurisdiction who wants to see and ask questions about the community, because maybe they're thinking about relocating there or transferring to that department. But my friend, he's had everything from 17-year-old girls to 55-year-old men, who are went on ride-alongs with them. They're not allowed to get out of the car for any reason at all. They have to stay in the car. And no matter if it's a traffic stop or if they are going to check on a cat and that got caught in a up in a tree, they have to stay in the car. They can't get out. I moved from Missouri to Texas, and it dusted snow, and we were out of school for 2 days. Good times. Anna, it's 39, mostly clear. Yes, people lose their minds in the snow and rain here. Fire EMS here can do ride-alongs alongside here and are encouraged to. Tina wants a cookie. You want a cookie? I don't know anybody who's ever done ride-along with EMS here. I'm sure it happens though. Gianna Marie is in SoCal. I can see reporters, interested teams, and out-of-town cops, but I didn't realize there's so much flexibility. It all depends upon the jurisdiction. I would assume, and their rules. Maybe one law enforcement agency allows it more than another. But I can only give that what I know personally from my friend, what he's told me about ride-along. Some of the people have been on ride-alongs. 1 minute left. 1 minute left of our break. This week there's rain. And speaking of the same thing with ride-alongs, and my friend who's a police officer in one town over, I've never been on a ride-along with him and his, while he's working. I don't know why I've never done it. Maybe it's just not something that interesting to me. I don't know. I mean, it's as safe as you could possibly be, but just never done it. 10 seconds left. Two, one, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Question 11 is now on the screen. Hurry up, you Hoosier bastards. I could have killed 10 more men while you're fooling around. Who said this while waiting to be executed? Was it A, Carl Panzeram, B, Richard Kalinsky, C, Richard Ramirez, or D, Bob McKenzie? Hurry up, you Hoosier bastards. I could have killed 10 more men while you're fooling around. Who said this while waiting to be executed? Question 11 of 20. The Morgan is going with A. Cali Lisa A. Lemon Pie is going with B. My dad was an officer, and I used to ride with him. It was fun. Oh, that's cool, Sal. Thank your dad for everybody, if he's still around, for his service. Very unappreciated work. Mal's going with B, maybe. Tina B, Sherry B. Mr. Frosty is going with A. Sal D. Gianna Marie C. Rana B. Steph B. Inner Peas is going with Kobe Bryant. Is it too soon? Is it too soon? Meep is going with B. Them they are fighting words to some people. I don't understand why, but some people get really hung up on that stuff. Hurry up, you Hoosier bastards. I could have killed 10 more men while you were fooling around. Who said this? Aren't Hoosiers from Indiana? Yes, me. You are correct. Hoosiers, not hosers. I met James Woods, who played Carl Panzeram. I'd be more scared of 411 now. Yeah, Hoosiers are from Indiana. Hosers are from Canada. Hey, you hosers. David Letterman. David Letterman, a lot of people don't remember this, but David Letterman, before he took over and became a talk show host, before he was a comedian, he was a weatherman. Weatherman who did stand-up comedy on the side. Hurry up, you Hoosier bastards. I could have killed 10 more men while you're fooling around. Who said this while waiting to be executed? The correct answer to question 11 is A as in apple. Carl Panzeram said this. And later, after they finally, got everything done and ready to execute him, and they asked him for any final words, he said nothing at all. That was the last thing he said was, hurry up, you Hoosier bastards. I could have killed 10 more men while you're fooling around. And he was on Mork in minutes. Now, there's a non-hoser Canadian right here. That's why I put Bob McKenzie in there. It was kind of Hoosier. Bob McKenzie is the one of the McKenzie brothers. Yeah. All right, question 12. He watched her for months, finally making up his mind when he was going to attack, only to be scared off by a German Shepherd he didn't know she had. Who was this? Was it A, Dennis Rader, B, Richard Ramirez, C, John Robinson, or D, Jeffrey Dahmer? He watched her for months, finally making up his mind when he was going to attack, only to be scared off by a German Shepherd he didn't know she had. True story. He had stalked her for months, watched her come and go, watched her, which rooms that she went in, turning on lights and off lights. He took meticulous notes about this entire thing. And he never knew that she had a German Shepherd because she always let the German Shepherd out in the morning. But he watched her at night, coming from home, going to work, walking around. And when she went grocery shopping, he followed her everywhere for months. And then when he would finally decide he was going to kill her, when he was going to attack, and it was going to be that night, she decided for some reason to let the German Shepherd out that night instead of in the morning. Maybe the dog was scratching at the door. Maybe the dog knew something. But when he saw that German Shepherd, he decided, I'm not going to kill her. I'm not even going to attack her because the dog is going to be an issue. So he just went on to pick another victim, but recounted the entire story to law enforcement as part of his confession later on. Can't be Raider. He was a dog catcher. Question 12 of 20. Who is this? Meep is going with C. Sounds like Raider, says Mel Stiller. She was sure lucky. Yeah. Was that victim Nancy Fox? Asks Tammy. Beep. No. B. No one else was that meticulous, says Mr. Frosty. Dog equals best alarm system, says Callie Lisa. Question 12. All right. Question 12. The correct answer was guessed by more than a few of you, but the correct answer is A as in apple. Just because he was a dog catcher doesn't mean that he wasn't spooked away by the fact that she had a German Shepherd and would have been an issue. This is one of the women that Dennis Rader had watched for an awfully long time. He never installed an alarm system at her home, but he was spooked off and away because she had a German Shepherd, a dog. Would have been the same thing if she had a tiny like Chihuahua or something like that. The dog still might have barked, but it was enough for him to say, nope, I'm not going to kill that one. But A as in apple, Dennis Rader. Dennis Rader. Question number 13. Should be an easy one for everyone because this man is the only serial killer ever known to kidnap women just to hunt them like deer. Who is this? Is it A, James Earl Ray, B, Barry Morphew, C, Dennis Rader, or D, Robert Hansen? Inner peace, I'm getting me a dog. Yeah. Barking dogs are an issue. Should be an easy one for everyone. This is the only serial killer ever known to kidnap women just to hunt them down like deer. Who was this? Lemon pie. Elmer Fudd? Oh, that's a good one. The Wascally Wabbit. Oh, I got that mental image of Elmer Fudd. The Wascally Wabbit. Oh, it's Wabbit season. Rescue Mastiff. My sister has a Mastiff. Dahmer in his spare time. Meep is going with A. Should be an easy one for everyone because this man is the only serial killer ever known to kidnap women just to hunt them down like deer. It was a game for him. A game that he was sure to win. And he did for an awfully long time. It was so much fun for him. He even gave the victim a head start because he wanted to hunt them down and not know where they went. He would track them just like they were a deer. Kitty Q is going with D. Gianna Marie is going with the D. The duck season. James Earl Jones. I don't think it's funny, but I don't think James Earl Jones ever hunted women down like rabbits. Wabbit season. Question 13 of 20. Meepus never heard of D. Robert Hansen. Never heard of Robert Hansen. Sherry, is D or E the mountain lion? Wow, I guess. I don't know enough about serial killers and their sick games. Yeah, this is the only one that I've ever come across that, who's done something like this. If there is another one out there, I would surely like to know about him. But this is the only one. The Alaskan Baker, says Tammy Hall. He was in Alaska, says Sal. Question number 13. The correct answer is D as in dog. Just in time there with the answer, Tiffany. Robert Hansen. He would kidnap these women, tie them up in his basement, beat them, rape them, do whatever he wanted to them. But he kept them alive in his basement. He didn't kill them until he decided it was fun. And sometimes he would keep one tied up while he was out looking for another one. That happened a couple of times where, another victim was brought home and they saw another one tied up, or handcuffed to a pole in the basement. And then he would let the one that he had, barely alive in the basement, he'd let them go out into the wilderness, and then he'd hunt them down. Sometimes he used a knife. Other times he used, whatever he could find or think of. It was more of a challenge to him. But it was all a game. And he hunted them down like an animal. Robert Hansen. If you want to fall down a sick rabbit hole, read up on the life of Robert Hansen. And yes, he was a baker, a small independent bakery. He made bread. He gave it away to the homeless, and everybody thought he was a wonderful individual. He gave bread to did deliveries to homes for those who were shut in. They couldn't get out to actually get to the store to buy bread. On the surface, he looked like a great guy. Now, little did anybody know. But Robert Hansen. Question number 14. This serial killer always buried his victims at his work site. He laid them to rest with a gift for the afterlife also. Who is this serial killer? Was it A, Robert Hansen, B, Mac Edwards, C, Ed Kemper, or D, Gerald Muir? Excuse me. Question number 14 of 20. This serial killer always buried his victims at his work site. He laid them to rest with a gift for the afterlife also. Sounds like B or D? B or D? I also generally can't listen to David Pulse anymore. Mr. Missing 401. I'm also convinced it's him. The Missing 401, is that the guy that talks about the individuals who've gone missing in Yellowstone, Yosemite Park, National Parks? I get a lot of people who email me about different stories, and ask me, about that, whoever that guy is. Serial killer named Mac? A miss utility. But back to the emails. I get a lot of emails for people who are trying to get a hold of that individual. I got a missing persons report, case that is interesting, for somebody who disappeared in Yosemite, or Wyoming near the national forest. I'm like, I don't know who these people are. But for some reason, since my my business name on YouTube is 411 now. They think it's me. Mr. Frosty, I'm back into crocheting, true crime therapy. There you go. The Butcher Baker. Meepis, I'm going with B. Sherry's going with B as well. Mr. Frosty, B. No clue. Question number 14. The correct answer is B as in boy, Mac Edwards. Mac Edwards is otherwise known as the trans killer. He worked on the highway system in California, and to this day, the likelihood is greater than 90% that underneath certain sections of the California highway system, he has victims that he buried on the job site, and they put the roadway over the top of them, not knowing that that individual was buried there. So the section of highway was already graded, leveled out, and ready to be, to have roadway put on it. And he would kill his victims and dig a hole right where the highway system was going to be laid the next day. And they're better than 90% chance, because all he would say is they are, they're buried here. Some of them were buried next to where the highway was supposed to have an off-ramp, but they moved the off-ramp or the on-ramp a couple of feet one way or another. And it turns out that they found the victim, next to the roadway, buried. What did he leave as gifts for the afterlife? He left everything from a playing card, a specialty card. It's not like one you get out of like a regular deck of cards, but it had like a queen or something on it that meant something special to him. That was supposed to be a kind of like a tarot card, but it's a playing card from another deck of cards. But because I'm obviously not doing a good job, explaining it. He left actual jewels. He left, but these were cheap jewels, like, it's not really gold. It's like flux gold, stuff. He left the other things that he thought that would be important to them in the afterlife. But every one of his victims were buried on the job site while he worked for the state of California. No idea, says Tiffany. Yeah, B, Mac Edwards for question 14 of 20. Question 15. This killer loved lollipops, like Telly Savalas. When arrested, he figured the police had his DNA from one. Turns out they didn't. They had a witness. Who is this? Was it A, Gary Ridgway, B, Travis Lewis, C, Anil Vala, or D, Omar Laura? This killer loved lollipops. When arrested, he figured the police had his DNA from one. Turns out they didn't. They had a witness. Who is this? Question 15 of 20. Best gift I've ever received was a crocheted blanket. Ooh. Someday I will learn to knit. Kojak, bang, bang. Yeah, Telly Savalas. Everybody, if you've ever watched Kojak, bang, bang. But Kojak always had a lollipop. And this serial killer loved lollipops. Question number 15 of 20. Kitty Q, C, question mark, no clue. E, Kojak, bang, bang. Sal, question mark, C. Meep is going with B. Gianna Marie, A. Tina, A as well. Meep is going with B. This serial killer loved lollipops. No particular type of flavor of lollipop that I could find in the information about this guy. This individual, this serial killer, apparently loved lollipops. An awful lot, though. Mr. Frosty, D. No clue. Purple D as well. Kojak, Sidekick, Mars Bar. Question number 15 of 20. The correct answer to question number 15 is C as in cat. Anil Vala. Anil Vala is a serial killer from the country of India. Yes, and when you, depending upon which reports you actually read, the murder total is all over the effing place. But you can guarantee that the total body count for Anil Vala is over 50. Because 50 victims are what they know he killed. But there is an additional like 27 on top of that are in question. So maybe 77 murders total. But Anil Vala always had a lollipop, like Telly Savalas. All right, question number 16. This serial killer makes people fill out a 10-question profile and an application to write to him. So he's a killer and a pompous ass. Who is it? Is it A, Lee Harvey Oswald, B, James Earl Ray, C, Dennis Rader, or D, Andre, how do you pronounce that? Yes, Kafal? Whatever. I don't know. D. Should have put Bob Smith on there or something. I don't know who the hell, how you pronounce these names. Question number 16. This serial killer makes people fill out a 10-question profile and an application to write to him. So he's a killer and a pompous ass. Rayanna, got to go. Have a great week, everyone. You have a terrific week as well, Rayanna. And thank you for being here with us. Likely had a lot of cavities from all those lollies. Tina Marie, I don't know. D. Question number 16. This serial killer makes people fill out a 10-question profile and an application just to write to him. Not the only one that's ever done something like that. There have been others who've requested that you fill out basically a job application if you want to write to them. Because they can. Why not? Just make it even that much harder on people to contact you. Hey, Lee Harvey Oswald has them forwarded to hell. I would believe so, Tammy. Steph's going with C. Sherry's going with D. Mel Stiller is, I think it's C. Chad and Chud. Chad the Chud. Now, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, today is the 18th of February. On the 21st at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, if you have nothing to do, now it's 1 o'clock Pacific Coast time, so West Coast of the United States, Pacific Standard Time. At 1 o'clock, if you have nothing to do, they will have a WebEx court hearing for Jared Lysick. That is on the 21st at 1 o'clock on Pacific Standard Time. And it will be broadcast on WebEx. I do not know if it will be delayed or if, I'm guessing because of what's happened in the past, that they will be muting the audio. So I don't even know if we're going to be able to hear it, but it's definitely at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on the 21st. And that information you can thank Plunder over on Plunder's channel. They actually helped me locate that information in time. According to the court there, he still does not have any attorneys listed on record. So the court will have to meet, or his attorneys will have to meet with the court beforehand. And he must be there in person for that. I know a guy named Bob Smith. That's cool. They had a cannibal do that, and a guy answered it. All right, question 16 of 20. The correct answer is C, as in cat. Dennis Rader makes people fill out a 10-question profile and an application that is kind of like a job application just to be able to write to him. Dennis Rader. I like Plunder. I do too. Meep. All right, question number 17. Oh, well, first, did you know Rex Heuermann and Joel Rifkin have the exact same MO? They both killed on Long Island. They both targeted sex workers or escorts and were swingers. They both killed in the same way and disposed of bodies in the same way. The little Koiki Dinker there. Did you know about Rex Heuermann and Joel Rifkin? The same MO. And we're talking a long time apart between when Joel Rifkin and it was killing and when Rex Heuermann supposedly started. Now, I'm going to add in there allegedly because Rex has not been convicted of anything at this point. All right. Oh, come on. All right. Question number 17. This serial killer said in his confession to police he wanted to. He was attracted to homes with potential victims if they had a nice flower bed and flowers. Who is it? Is it A, Angelo Bruno, B, Richard Chase, C, Harold Shipman, or D, Ted Bundy? They were separated at birth. Sounds like the mission involving Labatt's Blues. New Yonkers? I don't know if they were both New Yonkers, Tammy. I just know that they both killed in the same area. I found it interesting when I was going through, and I was going to add Joel Rifkin to the actual trivia night, but that I was convinced that people were going to, get the two of them mixed up because it's eerie just how close, the two of them, and especially killing sex workers and escorts. And both being, in a relationship. One was married, one wasn't. One was in a committed relationship. He'd been with her for 15 years. Rifkin wasn't married to her, but he was with her for 15 years. And him and her, his girlfriend were swingers, just like Rex supposedly was. The legend and all that is. So I'm totally writing Dennis Rader now. You go ahead. He'll write you back. He won't talk about his crimes, though. I have a letter from him. He will write you back, but he will not talk about his crimes. Getting out my weed eater. It's up. This serial killer said in his confession to police he was attracted to homes with potential victims if they had a nice flower beds and flowers. Who is it? Question number 17. The correct answer is B as in boy, Richard Chase, otherwise known as the Vampire of Sacramento. He entered houses if they were unlocked, because he considered it to be an invitation to come in and do whatever he wanted. So if your house was unlocked, front door, back door, or a window, he considered it an invitation for him to come in and do whatever he wanted to you. But he was attracted to the home because of flowers. If they had a nice flower bed, if they had nice flowers, it looked like they at least cared about that. If you had just a flower bed that was dead, wilted flowers, he didn't care. But if the house was locked and he couldn't get in, he considered it, well, you're being safe. And it's not, it's not an invitation for him to come in, so he would leave. But B as in boy, Richard Chase. All right, question number 18. Making a list, checking it twice, going to find out who's naughty or nice. This isn't Santa Claus. This serial killer did have a list and he checked it twice. He knew you were naughty and he killed because of it. Who was this? Was this A, Randy Kraft, B, Richard Ramirez, C, David Berkowitz, or D, Barry Morphew? Making a list, checking it twice, going to find out who's naughty or nice. This isn't Santa Claus. This serial killer had a list and he checked it twice. He knew you were naughty and he killed because of it. My window might say, come in, but my sour says, get the hell out. There you go, Tammy. Sig Sauer. Good pistols. I don't have a Sig Sauer anymore. I sold it off on consignment. I got a couple Berettas. I'm not going to say how many Colts I have, but it's more than a couple. And I have one Glock, but no Sig Sauers. My high school Spanish teacher. It's getting hard for me to see you, so I'm going to go. Hope you all stay safe this week. You as well, Purple. And I hope you and your husband, have a terrific week ahead. Thank you for being here with us tonight, Purple. She has eyes behind her head. Who made a list and checked it twice and had already determined that you were naughty and he killed because of it? Never know who's standing next to you, and you never know who's going to be knocking at your door. Absolutely true, Purple, and thank you again. I have a glue gun. There you go, Mel. Does that counts? Anything can be a defensive weapon. Anything. Doesn't matter if it's a comb. All you need is just to make enough time to get away. Mr. Frosty, A or D? Final answer, A, says Mr. Frosty. Sherry's going with A as well. Question 18 of 20. All right, the correct answer to question number 18 is A, and as in apple, Randy Kraft made a detailed list and kept notebooks of every single murder that him and his partner committed. And he wrote down everything about how he tortured, how he killed, how he did everything. And then he made a list of things he wanted to do to the next victim. And every time they kidnapped or, were going to kill someone, a hitchhiker, or whatever it might have been, however they got the victim, he always had a checklist that he would go through. You were already, deemed to be naughty, and he was going to kill you because you were he thought you were promiscuous, you were a drug addict, you did something in his eyes that made you worthless to him. So he killed. And he kept on killing. Was he German? Randy Kraft? Don't think so. Well, now, who killed John Bonet? Don't think. Just answer. Mr. Frosty, I don't know who killed John Benet Ramsey. If I did, I'd be a millionaire because I would have solved the crime and I'd be on every damn talk show around the world. Randy Kraft, sorry, but his name escapes me. All right, next one. Question number 19. Known commonly as the first internet killer, he lured his victims on the internet from message boards. If you don't know what that is, you're young. Be thankful for that. Who is this? And that is his actual mugshot photo you see there on your screen. Who is this killer? He was known as the first internet killer. Is it A, Tony Abels, B, John Argue, C, Moses Gibson, or D, John Robinson? Question 19 of 20. Known as the first internet killer, he lured his victims from message boards. Germans are good record keepers. Also, historically, a huge amount of methamphetamines. During World War II, just about every German soldier was on meth. He looks so sweet. Morgan, this is going with A, Patsy. You think it was Patsy who killed John Benet? Meep is going with B, Mr. Craig of Craigslist. Mr. Clean's younger brother, Dusty. Because of the bald head. That's good. That's a good one, Tammy. Oh, gee. I have no idea. D? He looks like someone's granddad, right? Question number 19. I'll give you a clue about the man. They have no idea how many victims he actually killed. Nobody was convicted of, but they have no idea how long he got away with it and how many victims he actually met. And did he kill ones that he didn't meet through message boards? Because he would not talk to the police. He never gave a complete, or any type of real confession to any of his crimes. How many was he convicted of? I don't know right off the top of my head. Callie, Lisa, I it was at least one, but I didn't write that down. How many he was convicted of? I'm doing horrible, but trying and missing the first 7 still in laws. I'm going with D because it looks good. He was a webmaster before webmasters mount. Bulletin boards. Does anybody remember bulletin boards? In the early days of the internet, message boards, you posted a message on basically a screen, and you could buy and sell things that way. You could meet people, and you could exchange information and then email each other. That's how I first started off selling, record albums, was on message boards back in the early days of the internet. Meep is maybe D, and Steph is going with D, or the correct answer to question number 19 is D as in dog. This is none other than John Robinson. John Robinson was known as the first internet killer. He would meet women on these lonely heart, singles pages on the internet. They would agree to go out on a date or meet for coffee or whatever you want to call it. and then he would kill them in short order. Hey, let's go get in my car and we'll go, to the park or whatever. I'll pick you up. But they don't know how many victims he actually killed this way. But he was known as the first internet killer. Question 20. Married, 4 children, and a job. Didn't stop this serial killer from taunting police. It also didn't slow him from killing either. Who is this? This is an actual photo of the man. Is this A, Chester Turner, B, Bernard Giles, C, Jeffrey Davis, or D, Michael Player? Who is this? Married, 4 children, and a job. Didn't stop this serial killer from taunting police. It also didn't slow him from killing either. I would be all over a 411 Now message board if there was such a thing. Bobby Bonds. It kind of looks like him. No clue. Zelda's Ghost. Good evening, Zelda's Ghost. Well, welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a wonderful week, Zelda's Ghost. Married with children and murder in mod. He looks like a Bernard. E. O.J. Simpson's little brother, B.J. Simpson. O.J. is innocent. If the glove don't fit, you gotta quit. I did. Thank you. Same to you. Well, good. Zelda's Ghost. Married, 4 children, and a job. Didn't stop the serial killer from taunting police. It also didn't slow him from killing either. Who is he? Question 20 of 20. Ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than Chester Turner. A as in apple is the correct answer. Chester Turner. Now, I purposely picked this photo because this one does not show the long cut scar on his face. If you look up Chester Turner, most of the photos that catch him from his right side, he's got a giant like scar mark down the side of his face. But he killed, he did a lot of things, but let's just say that nothing slowed him down. But he loved to taunt the police department at the same time. He challenged them to catch him. Catch me if you can. All right. How did you do tonight on the trivia? This is completely optional. A, B, C, D, or E. We only do this, play this game for educational purposes. No one is better at this than anyone else. You can use whatever means you can to come up with the answer in the time allowed. Some people like to give themselves a letter grade. Some people don't. Again, it's completely optional. You don't have to. You don't even have to keep score. But anyways, moving on to the cold case file of the week. Cold case file of the week is Sandra Lorraine Andrews is missing and endangered, and she has been missing for quite a few years, since 1990. Sandra Lorraine Andrews. Take a look at these photos that I have blown up here on the screen in front of you. All right, I know this is small print, so I'm going to read it all to you. Andrews was last seen at 11:15 p.m. on November 16th, 1990, when she left her nursing job at Methodist Manor Home in Seaford, Delaware. She has never been heard from again. Her white or beige 1985, it's actually a two-tone. I don't know why it says that. The bottom half is like a tan color and a white top to the car, two-tone car. Her Mercury Cougar with brown top, that's the vinyl they're talking about there, brown top, was located at 4 a.m. the day after she disappeared, parked behind a storage building on the east side of northbound Route 13. That's approximately 11 and a half miles from where she was last seen. North of Seaford. Andrew's purse and her other belongings were scattered on the ground near the driver's side door, and her keys were on the trunk lid. She left behind 2 adult children, and one of her sons died at birth, and the other died in an accident as a toddler. She was divorced in 1982. The ex-husband has been cleared of any part of her in her disappearance, but was reconciled with her ex-husband. And though it was probably they would probably get married again, he has been named a person of interest in her disappearance. But again, like I said, he has been cleared. Her family describes her as a very spiritual and prim and proper woman who frequently exercised and didn't smoke or curse. Authorities believe foul play was involved in Andrew's case, and her case remains open. Again, 3 things that may actually jar someone's memory of her or her actual disappearance. There are 3 things that she always had on her uniform or on her body that have never been found. 1, she had a gold necklace that was either 14 or 24 karat gold necklace that she always wore that had her name, and in Sandra, in letters, like scrolled letters. She also had a gold pin that said RN for registered nurse that had a small red ruby in the middle of it. These things have never been found. If this wasn't, someone who killed her or made her disappear because of, they were after money, these things may have been pawned or sold or given away as a gift to a girlfriend or whatever, or maybe someone found them in the woods or something later on. But this entire case has gone cold. In 2004, October 12th of 2004, was the last update where they had anything real to update. And then in 2019, they updated the clothing and jewelry description details of her disappearance. There's some things that they didn't quite get right from the initial police report. But she has been missing again as of 1990. If you may know anything about the disappearance or anything that may help solve the case of the disappearance of Sandra Lorraine Andrews, you can call the Delaware State Police Department at area code 302-739-5939 if you have any information that may be useful. And just because they've never found her remains, and in her wallet was found on, scattered amongst the ground, and her identification, there was money found in the car. So they don't believe that robbery was the motive. And why was the car brought 11 miles away and then abandoned behind a storage unit with no access out of the area except for by another car? Was she kidnapped by someone else and then taken off someplace else and something happened to her there? Did something happen there in this actual storage unit area, which is only gravel? It wasn't, like blacktop or cement or something where there, like blood or something like that may have been easily found. They did, track the area to see if a scent from a dog could be picked up. Maybe she was carried off somewhere or something else that may have happened, and no trace was ever found of of her walking off or somebody had taken her out of the area. So again, Sandra Lorraine Andrews is the only case this week that I have profiled. Again, if you know anything that may help, you can call the Delaware State Police Department. Seaford, Delaware. Yep. There's a new TV show called Tracker. Maybe he can find her. I've never heard of the Tracker, Callie Lisa. All of these cases that I am profiling at the end of my trivia night for the rest of 2024 all come from what's called the Charlie Project. You can actually put that in your search, browser and look for it. The Charlie Project, all together. www.charlieproject.com, and that will come up with the Charlie Project, which is the largest database of missing people from around the United States, not the world, just the United States. And you would believe you can actually go and search alphabetically or by case number if you happen to know the case number. But a lot of them are actively updated by police departments from across the United States. Give them information. You can make a donation if you really like the website. I donate to it because it's a database of missing people from across the United States, and you wouldn't believe just how many people have vanished out there, where foul play is involved or suspected that was involved in it. And this is another one of those cases where somebody has to know something. They seen something, somebody told them something, either the jewelry or something showed up, somewhere, because it's never been seen. So, and her children that are still alive to this day, they deserve closure. Gianna Marie, you're taking off. Good night, Gianna Marie. And I hope you have a terrific week ahead. Late, but actually here for once. I hate missing this live every week. That's all right. I'm going to quit my job so I can be here every week. Just kidding. Salmon, Janet. But thank you, though. I understand. It's hard to actually be here. And we get a lot of people who really do enjoy the trivia night and watch it afterwards. Like right now, we might get anywhere from 10 to 30 people who will be here for trivia night, and then afterwards, so it's like almost 6 o'clock on the West Coast Pacific Standard Time. By 9 o'clock tonight, all I've had, easily, 3-4 times the amount of people who take part in it live, who will watch it and rewind just by the end of tonight. Steph, thank you as always. You're welcome, Steph. President's Day, I'm off tomorrow. Yeah, some people have to work, some people don't. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up the stream right there. Everyone, I really want to thank everyone for being here. Again, on the way out, if you could, hit the thumbs up button, it lets YouTube know that someone enjoyed the content. And if you didn't enjoy it, please give it a thumbs down, and leave a comment down below on what you didn't like about, the trivia. I'm always open to constructive criticism to how to improve this. If there's someone that you would like to see covered on a trivia night that I haven't covered before, and believe me, if they're famous, and I've probably covered them once, twice, 3 times, but I'm willing to do a number 4 on the case, or the killer, again. So don't think that just because I've already done Ted Bundy 4 or 5 times doesn't mean I won't do another one on Bundy. Because some of these serial killers, or killers, you can do 5, 100 on, and still have more content to do more on. But thank you again, everyone. I hope that you all have a terrific week ahead, and thank you. Bye.